Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Heather. I'm an intuitive artist, author, animal communicator, energy healer for pets and people, psychic channeler, medium, and I'm on a mission to empower and embolden others to connect with their divine radiant light and honor the sacred connection with all life. One of my favorite ways to do that here on this channel is with a monthly energy forecast, and it is time for September 2024. So I want to ask you first, how are you feeling? What are you feeling into for the month? Leave me a comment below. I would love to connect with you. When I feel into September 2024, what we're looking at is an extension of what we have seen so far in 2024, but it's also this beautiful, I want to use the word portal, but for a lot of people, that's a very strong word. So I use it with a little bit of caution, but it is as if this door energetically is starting to open. Just the tiniest little crack, this sliver of light is coming through, and it is the doorway or the path or the energetic opening that will be broadening and opening up for us for the next 24, 26, 28 months. So we're kind of coming to a new plateau energetically and dealing with a lot of things as it relates to that. So the theme that came through for September 2024 was transformation, and not just, hey, I'm here to do my personal transformation, although that is absolutely a big part of it, but the collective transformation and what is coming up and what we will be witnessing as we walk through the month of 2024. So my guides wanted to give us a little perspective and a little caution almost on how we look at that when we're applying transformation for ourselves or when we're witnessing it on behalf of the collective energies. And they wanted to break that word up in two different ways with the purpose of clarity for ourselves, so we can understand which type of transformation are we really employing or witnessing, because there is kind of a false transformation and a truer, more accurate, more dialed in, more purposeful transformation. So the way I was being shown the word was, if you break it up, transformation, and you take the trance part and you do that twice. So transformation, Trance. That's kind of the false one. And that's what honestly we're witnessing a lot of. And we see it a lot in different communities, different aspects, different areas of the world even, where it looks like, oh my gosh, look at all this change that is happening. This is really transforming. Oh, or we're being given the illusion of choice. You can choose this and you get massive transformation. You can dial in here and things shift and change really quickly. And from what I'm feeling, that is a false sense of activity, a false sense of transformation, a false sense of doing something with your precious energy and your intention. So if we think of trance, Trance, now I do talk about being a trance channel, that's different, but we're kind of carving that word purposefully over here as we're talking about transformation, and they wanted to break that down. So the T, and this is the false version of transformation. Just feel into yourself when you're talking about, yes, I am witnessing transformation or I am choosing transformation. Is it this way? Trance, Trance formation. Does it feel threatening? Does it activate your trauma? Does it play on your trauma where you're saying, oh, if I don't change this, then X, Y, and Z happens. And it's just got that hook that feels almost a little menacing to it. Does it reinforce your existing beliefs? Like there's no challenge. You're just like, yeah, that's what I want. Done. I select that one. To me, that feels like kind of the vending machine. Like I'll take the pretzels that are on row E4. No problem. Done. That's not really active transformation. That's the illusion of transformation. It's trance formation. You're in a trance about it. Is it addictive? Sometimes in this version, this false transformation, there's this obsession with it. It's almost like, I think because there's nothing underpinning it, there's no real action, there's no real intent, there's just the illusion of taking action. It's like we get obsessed. Like the more energy we feed it, the more we feel like we're doing something, when really we're not. There's nothing there. We haven't taken any action. We're just like making an easy choice or saying, hey, this thing's going to happen. I see this often, and no judgment, but it's kind of where some of the conversations have been shaped with ascension. Like, hey, that's me. I want it. I want 5D. So to me, that always feels, again, like the pretzels or something in the vending machine. 5D, I've got it, picking it. Not really understanding that, it's going to require some work, or there might be something that I need to do as well. So does it feel threatening? Does it play on your trauma? Does it reinforce your existing beliefs where it doesn't really challenge you? You're just like, yeah, I'm going with that group because they already believe what I believe, so they must be right. Is it addictive? You just can't get enough of it. You watch it, you read about it, you dial into it constantly. Does it activate your nervous system? So this was an interesting one. That can be okay. That can be a motivator, right? Our fight or flight or flee isn't necessarily a bad thing unless it's activated kind of unnaturally. And the transformation, that's often the point, is to like get you, because then that feeds back into the, is it addictive? Is it reinforcing your trauma? Does it feel threatening? You've got that like, oh, if I don't do this, if I don't align with this, or if I don't witness this, if I take my eyes off this trance for 1 second, I won't get what it is that I'm being kind of sold, or that's being packaged, or that I'm assuming I get just by my attention alone. Does it feel competitive or conflict driven? A lot of the transformation, especially now on the planet, is so stuck in the polarity of, or the paradigm of polarity, that this group is right, that group is wrong. This perspective is correct, this perspective is incorrect. So if you are assuming or feeling that you're caught in a transformation, but it's got this competitive, or like, you guys over there, to me this looks like the movie Mean Girls. Like, oh, if you can't sit with the cool kids, then you're not transforming and you're not doing enough. Real transformation doesn't have that polarity to it, and doesn't have that conflict or competitive nature. And then the last for trance, trance, is it an energy drain? Do you feel that crash if you do pull your attention away from it? Kind of like if you've had too much coffee, or you've had an energy drink, or you've had too much sugar, a few hours later when you've metabolized it, you have that crash. The transformation, when you're taken out of the sphere of it, or the trance that has pulled you in, feels like an energy drain. So let's look at then the true transformation. When you're transmuting, you're alchemizing at such a deeper level that it isn't like a consciousness capture. And that's kind of maybe a dramatic way to explain it. But that's some of what's going on with us, is we're being sold the illusion of transformation without the underpinning of the actual work that is required. So true transformation, does it feel like a test, or does it feel true? So, and by test, you can kind of read in quest. Does it feel like, yes, this is what I'm called to do. This is who I'm called to be. And not in the way that might activate your nervous system like we saw in the false trance, but does it give you enough of that impetus to feel like, yeah, it's time. I feel like it's time. Maybe that's a better T for this. The timing is right. I need to step into this version of me, or I need to figure out how to do it, because it just feels kind of relentless. And if I push it away anymore, I'm not going to be who I'm supposed to be. That's true transformation. Does it feel like you are remembering this sacred and true version of yourself? Yeah, this feels like, this is what I came here to do, or this is who I came here to be, or this is what the world is supposed to be. This is how I want the world to be. Does it feel like that? Does it, on that same note, does it feel aspirational? As we had with the fake transformation, there's that competitive aspect. True transformation feels like a reach, like not just that you're ascending, but that you are reaching for something. It's growth oriented. It's pushing your buttons in just the right way to help you refine different aspects of yourself. And then again, on that note, it's a new level. It feels like, yeah, this feels different. This isn't same old, I'm not just reinforcing my beliefs. I'm not just going with the herd. I am stepping into something that's a little new for me? And then do you have the ability to surrender in faith? That's true transformation. I like to think of this as like the crock pot version, where transformation has that hook. You've got to keep feeding it. You've got to like pay attention to it. It has that addictive component. That to me feels like I've got my eyes on the stove constantly in something. I need this ingredient, or I need this or that or the other. Whereas transformation, yes, there is absolutely work to it. It's a slower pace often. And so it's kind of like the crock pot, where you assemble the ingredients. You're very clear on what you want, but you can put it away and let it sit and trust or surrender that things are going to come out super tasty and delicious. So transformation versus transformation, which gear are you in? That's what we're being asked to look at for the month of September, and not just for our own personal projects or growth or evolution or whatever development, but what's being shown to us in the world? What is reflecting back? Because sometimes we can witness something and say, oh, it's taking a turn, the tides are turning, things are evolving. And really, if you go up one layer from that and get a higher perspective, it's that transformation. It's that false. It's the like the fake calories. It's the sugar substitute. It's not the real thing, because it's got those elements of feeling threatening and competitive and addictive and the energy drain and all of that. So looking for the true transformation, and if you are seeking true transformation, really settling into that for yourself. And I'm hearing from so many of you in personal conversations and appointments that it's a doozy out there energetically right now. And I think it's because this energy of transformation is taking hold for so many of us, where we've maybe done the surface level work of it that maybe had elements of transformation, but we're stepping out of those narratives that we've told ourselves. And now we're saying, oh, I see. I need to even go deeper. I need to really recalibrate different aspects of myself, and I'm excited for it and I'm okay about it, but I realize that it is work. And sometimes we say that's shadow work, or it's, whatever it gets classified as, but it is the sacred work of being here and being human. And we're not going to step into our new world that we are envisioning the same people that we are today. So it requires a little bit of change and a little bit of transformation. And so that's really I like to think of these monthly energy forecasts too as kind of the playlist. If you're watching a movie, this is the song in the background. We've got this song of transformation as we're walking through September 2024. So let's check in with my team of guides for a little channeled message and see what they have to say. And I'll be back in just a minute. Hello, bright and beautiful beings. We are so honored to be with you in this time and in this space, which for you may feel normal, for us is always sacred, as it is our greatest joy to connect with you and offer our perspective on your journey, on your humanness, on your planet at this time. And please note, it is only our perspective. It is neither better nor worse than your own, just a different angle. We are speaking today regarding the energy for the upcoming month of your time on your planet. And with it, we are seeing that many of you are called to a new level of self and a new level of change and a new level of truth. For many have gone through the motions of transformation almost as you would consider a dress rehearsal in one of your plays or movies. Now it is time for digging in deep, as you might say, and walking through some pretty powerful transformative energy that is available to you. And it is available in this time, for there are beautiful, powerful waves of light and frequency coming into your world at this time. So it is almost as if you were surfing, you are able to catch the wave at this time. And we use that pun not accidentally, for frequency is a wave. And if you think of a wave being able to overcome or move past a solid point in time, think of the collective wave of light and frequency of transformation moving past anything that is stagnant or stuck in your life, in your world at this time. Now, to navigate that wave of transformation does take balance and does take effort and takes dedication and training, and it takes patience. But it is also a powerful force that is available for you at this time. And so we hope that in the prior message that the channel shared, you were able to draw from that a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of truth for yourself in how you approach transformation. For many of you, it may be the small daily habits that you are reshaping. For others, it may be larger decisions like professions or relationships or places that you reside or vacations that you take or don't take. Just know that there are no wrong choices. There are only choices. And each one calls a different part of you forward. Each one beckons to your soul in a different way. Follow your highest joy and your bliss at this time, and you will find surfing the wave of transformation a little more pleasant and a little more easy to navigate and keep your balance. We thank you for your time and attention. Be blessed, dear ones. Okay, great. Let's take a look at the art for this month. So I really love this piece. It was one, some of you have asked, how quickly do these come in, or how long do you spend on them, or when do they come in during the month? And it varies for each month. This was one that I kept being called to add more. And by that, I mean like different colors, different textures, different techniques, come back to it, which to me is also kind of funny because that echoes what we're saying about true transformation. It wasn't just like I'm going to go for it and whoo, there it is. It pops out in 10 minutes. It was this sculpting and carving of it. So I love it for that because it challenged me. It took a lot of my effort and time and dedication and devotion and passion. But I also just really like the feeling of it and the quality that it has. This, speaking of feeling aspirational, like to me, it just feels like it's opening up, it's big. And I like the infinity signs being this symbol of that remembrance and calling back to your truth and carrying that truth forward into the world. So sometimes I don't hit this every month when I do these, but I started with the goal of also including a crystal and an animal just to kind of help us, give us more support, just thinking about the qualities that either that crystal or that animal brings to the topic of transformation. So the crystal for the month of September that wanted to come through is, I feel like I should do this. I'm not one of those product people, but, and I don't know how well it shows up here, but labradorite, one of my favorite. It is a magical transformational energy. So if you have any of that, carry some in your pocket, put it out in your house. If you don't have any, you can set your intent to connect with the consciousness of this. You don't always need the physical, actual thing. You can connect to the consciousness of labradorite and ask what it can show you. That's a fun thing to do in meditation. And then the animal that was being called forward to share kind of its impression of transformation was a bear. So those of you who've been with me for a while know that sometimes I've had bears in the background. I don't currently in this setup, but they're one of the animals that usually steps forward to support me in a lot of ways, just in connecting with their strength and their depth and their groundedness. And I think when we're looking at it from the aspect of transformation, it's almost that going into hibernation and waking up from hibernation feeling where you're going with the flow of something, but there is absolute beautiful transformation in that, and allowing yourself the time to do it and preparing in the way that you need to prepare and cultivating that. I also get the feeling of like cultivating your cave and your den in the way that supports you. So if that makes sense to some of you out there, maybe rearranging things in your home or just around your physical vessel that support you as you're going through transformation. So that's all I have for this month. Thank you so much for tuning in. I would love to hear your thoughts again in the comments. And if you do want a copy of the art, you can get a watermarked version for free, and I'll put the link to download there. If you want to bring it into your home, which is a really powerful way to work with it as well, I do offer it in fine art prints. This month we've started with canvas in the shop as well, which is fun because they turn out really beautifully in canvas, and metal prints. So all of that's available on my website. I'll put the link below. So thanks very much. Have a wonderful month, and I'll see you again here soon. Take care. Bye.